What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, girl. We don't have nothing to talk about. I didn't watch Married to Medicine last night. I don't know. I don't know. I've been like kind of apprehensive to say it, but I'm kind of over Married to Medicine. I am. I am. I kind of am. I kind of am. I just don't like the way they moved this season. It was real ugly to me. I didn't like it. I don't like how these shows are trying to be like this. Like, I mean, and it's not. I feel like that's just how women relate to each other, like the way that we fight. And like, I don't know I don't know, I just haven't been really like, I've been watching it. I can't, I don't even know how to say it. Like, I don't even know why that lady is there. I don't even know why that lady and Gregory are there. I don't, and I think it's retarded for them to be there too. I don't like it. I don't like it. Now, I agree with what Mariah said on Carlos's interview, where she said that Quad should have been like phased out and put into a different show. She should have been to, actually, Quad should go to Real Housewives of Atlanta, because over here it's Married to Medicine. And even though Housewives denotes that you're married, the majority of housewives that have been cast throughout all of the franchise, the majority of them are not married. Not just Atlanta, New York. Nobody on New York was married before they rebooted it. Nobody. No one. Luann, Ramona, Sonia, Layla. What's her name? The one that's suing Leah. Um, who else is on there? No husband. Tinsley. Tinsley. Tatum is a pretty name. Tinsley. Tatum for a boy or a girl is a pretty. I love that name. That's pretty, Tatum. What else? Shout out to all the Tatums. Who else was on there? Atlanta. The only one that's married was I mean, Drew, if you call that one, but Candy. Um, who else was on there that was married? Sonia and Drew. And then Orange County, I think the only Tamra and Heather. Is that other one? No, they're not married yet. The other one that married the younger guy, they're not married. Mm, New Jersey, I think Jennifer. Most of them are married on New Jersey. Most of them are married. I think the only one that's single is Dolores. Well, Dolores is with the St. Patrick, but I can't. But they're not married. So whatever. There, she's in a relationship. She has a partner. What else? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Quad should go over to Housewives. I don't know. I don't like the energy that the season had this season. I wouldn't say it was a great season. I would give this season of Married to Medicine about a 7 or 8. Um, while I was entertained at some point, I just didn't like the addition of Tanisha and Gregory. I just didn't like it. And for Heavenly to have suggested that she come on the show, I thought that was trash as well. I really want Quad to take a step out of her relationship with Heavenly and examine it and look at it as if she's not in the relationship, and then ask herself, would she want to be in a relationship like that with Heavenly? Because the relationship that she's in with Heavenly is toxic and it's unrequited. I feel like, and I don't like the road that Heavenly has taken to this producer who will try to embarrass someone in the friend group. I just don't like that producer role that um, Heavenly is taking on. I don't appreciate that at all. Dr. Whitmore, Dr. Simone, she seems, I just didn't like what she did with Quad mentioning the tragedy at her home. I didn't like that either. I thought that was trash. You can't be telling me I didn't read my sisterhood email while you across from me about to say something, and I'm kind of like telling you, like, Simone, like, don't do that, and you do it. Okay, I got you. You sent my sisterhood to the spam, but you want me to read my sisterhood email. You sent my sisterhood email to the spam, but you want me to read yours. No, I wouldn't even want to be around. Like, I just don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't even want to be around those women. And they seem to have taken, what's her name, What's her name? Phaedra on there. She brought Apollo. I have no idea. Please don't get in the comments and tell me, because I want to watch it and see why he was there. Because I feel like Phaedra is a fucking stunt and a show. She shouldn't have been on the show either. She gooped you guys and said she was dating a doctor, but they really weren't dating. Honey, just say we dating so I can get on this show, girl. Just say we dating. Let's take a couple pictures together. While y'all accuse Kenya Moore of hiring a bald-headed tow truck driver, y'all over here renting men, asking men to go on shows with you, so you marriage boot camp. You mean to tell me Phaedra's dating that much that she went on marriage boot camp? Now she over here with a doctor. Now Apollo's back on the show. Apollo is married. We just caught Apollo cheating on his wife in the living room, laying on the couch. Comfortable, baby. Comfortable. Okay? And did she marry him while he was in jail or some crazy, stupid, dumb, backwards, upside down, goofy shit? Girl. We watched Love is Blind this weekend, so I guess we can talk about that. Love is blind. Love is blind. It'll take over your mind. Okay, let's go. Love is Blind. I made a thread out of it. I watched it over 2 days, or a day. It was like a day. I watched it on 1.5 speed. I don't even know what these people's voices really sound like, because I've been watching them on. I mean, the voices still sound regular. They're just sped up, which is really cool. Yes, you can speed up video on Netflix, y'all, if you didn't know. So we have the couples. We know the premise of Love is Blind, right? They go into these little pods. They have conversations. They try to build a relationship without seeing each other. And then it's over a 10-day period. Then you decide who you want to propose to. The man decides who he wants to propose to. He makes a decision. They meet each other, and then they go on a honeymoon, and then they get married. Then they live together, and then they get married. Two critiques I have. Off the bat, they need a therapist on the show. They need to add a therapist to the cast. So the people in between these pod meetings, they can kind of flush out their feelings. I feel like that's a really healthy thing to do, because mentally, I can't imagine talking to a bunch of people and then feeling a little bit of pressure to maybe want to try to connect with a person just so that you can move to the next level. And 2, I think it needs to be over a longer time span. 10 days is not enough. And I know it's like a speed dating, speed to marriage, race to the aisle type of show. And that's what it's supposed to be. But I feel like, and someone said it, like they should be in kind of like, where are they sleeping? Are they going home? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Where are they going when the thing is over? They're in North Carolina, I believe, this season. And it had a few couples on there, and everybody's been talking about the black couple, Clay and AD. And so since everybody was talking about it, and a couple of people asked me, and I was like, I really don't. Ready to Love. Not Ready to Love. What is it called? Love is Blind. The last season of Love is Blind, I watched where they had the queer folks on there. Y'all remember that? The lesbians. I was saying last night they should do a pansexual Love is Blind. So we don't have all these stupid damn restrictions and gender roles and all that other dumb shit. We need some pansexual people. We need some gender nonconforming people. We need some non-binary people. We need some trans people in there. We do. I feel like that would be better. We need trans people, pansexuals, pansexuals. We need non-binary and gender nonconforming folk to get with the business. Yeah. I feel like that would be better. I feel like I want to see that. I feel like this constant this constant feeding of this heteronormative shit, and you could see the dynamics of relationships just in that fast, how the women fall in love so fast, how the men try to hook one woman. They try to hook one woman because they know how women are. Women are not going, if a woman knows or has a feeling that a man is going to choose her, she don't give a damn. Like Chelsea, she didn't give a damn had it been Jimmy the milkman. I call him the milkman, and the mullet, the dude with the mullet. I can't even remember his name. You know, it's hard for me to remember names. So I was calling Clay AD yesterday. I had the girl. So just bear with me. So I'm going to read some of my comments as I was watching. Matthew. At first, I liked Matthew. I was like, okay, he seems like he's down to business. I'm here to meet a wife and blah, blah, blah. But then as it started, because I was like, why didn't AD, why didn't AD choose Matthew? But then as the episodes went, because I was on the first episode, as the episodes went, I was like, oh no, he seems a little pathological. He seems a little like something ain't clicking. It seems like he wants to be in a relationship with somebody he can manipulate. He seems like he came from the Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson world. That's what he looks like. He came from. He was not talking to the man at all. He was trying to, it's like somebody said online, he was trying to find his next victim. He was trying to find a woman to practice a supply. That's what I say. He was trying to find a supply. And it was almost AD. But he said something. I have a question. And I'll have a follow-up question. I have a list of questions. And he was like an interviewing style. And he was almost like uptight almost, right? And at first I thought, I was like, oh yeah, he's real serious. He's about his business. But then I was like, maybe not. I asked what was the success rate of Love is Blind, and it was shared that I think it's a 24% success rate. I think out of, hold on, what does she say? Hold on. Cocaine, thinking with your friends. Hey, call me when you want, call me when you need, call me in the morning. I can't find somebody. Oh, I could just put it in here. Love is Blind success rate. And I feel like the therapist needs to go on there. It says, so 16 contestants out of 150 found a special someone. It's 24%. So they're about a quarter of the people are finding success who come into this show. Some people are coming into the show because they're actors and they want to get their face, and they're willing to do anything. So if they can audition or try out to be on this show to get their face out there, to increase their subscriber count, whatever, then they're going to do that, right? That's why I felt like some of them were asking, how many followers do you have on Instagram? I feel like the length of time should be stretched out a little bit more, and I feel like a therapist should be there. I feel like Clay used this show as therapy. Drink every time you heard Clay use the word therapy. I'm going to get therapy. He was using this show for therapy to see if he could get married, if he could actually get there. And then when he got there, he was like, no, I can't do this. And I think a lot of Black women are disappointed because Black women by large crave and desire so desperately to see a fairy tale play out for a Black woman. They are just like, please, can one Black woman have the fairy tale? No, because it's not real. So cut it out, knock it off. It's not going to happen. Y'all got to get out of the romance fantasy bullshit, because what I did notice in this show, nobody was asking the right questions. Nobody. I didn't hear one person. I heard one couple ask about, what are your politics? I need to know your politics. I don't give a fuck. I need to know your politics. How do you feel? Like, did you hear Laura? She was like, we know how we feel about, same gender relationships, abortion. Like, what do you feel about these things? I need to know, because all that other shit means nothing if I find out you're homophobic. All of this shit means nothing if I find out you're a misogynist. None of this shit means nothing. What do you feel about women's rights? What do you feel about abortion? What do you feel about same gender marriage? What do you feel about these things? That's what I want to know. What's your sign? What time were you born? Yes, I need to know. I need to see this natal chart. Sorry. That I'm like, y'all not asking the right questions. Y'all not asking the right questions because y'all just want to play in a fantasy, fall in love. I love you. I love you. You don't love each other. Y'all don't love each other. Y'all don't even know what love is. And everybody has a different definition of love. I've accepted Bell Hook's definition of love, but I'm not. I was just like, nobody's asking the right questions. The only people asking the right questions were the ones who got married. Annie, what's her name? Johnny and Amy. What's her name? Amy? I think her name is Amy. Her name is Amy. It says there are only 9 Love is Blind couples who got married are still together. And this is as of 5 days ago on Business Insider. Remember the couple, the black woman and her white husband, Cameron and Lauren? They were really good. That Cameron and Lauren, I think people want to see Cameron, another example of Cameron and Lauren. I wonder, are they still together? They got married on 2018, and they kept their union a secret for over a year until Love is Blind season 1 wedding aired in 2020. The couple celebrated their 5-year anniversary in November 2023. So shout out to Cameron, Matt and Amber. Oh, I remember that. They're still together. Matt and Amber? What? I think, did Amber grow up? Do they have any children? Amber seemed like she was like a party girl, and Matt, they both seemed like they were party girls, party people who didn't have their shit together, but they're still together. Brennan and Alexa, I didn't watch that season, so I don't know who they are. Matt and Colleen, I didn't watch them. Brett and Tiffany, when is this? I didn't watch them either. I think, like I said, the last time I watched Love is Blind was when they had the same gender couples. That was the last time. Milton and Lydia, I feel like I remember them. Do I remember them? And then Johnny and Amy. So they're the last ones. And I guess hopefully, let's see. Oh, they're still happily married. It's been almost a year. So they're still together. I wonder how they're doing with the baby thing. Like, they were having real questions. Like, he was like, I don't want to have a baby. I want to travel. I want to do this and this and this and that. Is, trying to get her on birth control. I think she was anemic. And so I guess birth control kind of helps people with anemia. But she didn't want to introduce those hormones to her body. I kept yelling at the TV, what about condoms? What about condoms? What about condoms? He even researched getting a vasectomy. They were asking the right questions, right? How's my last? I'm gonna hyphenate my last name, because in my culture we hyphenate our last names. We have 2 last names, whatever. Everybody has their mama and daddy's last name. Even though it's so funny, because even though in Latin culture they're very patriarchal, the women still hyphenate. They still the children take on both mom and dad's last name, even if the last name is like a middle name. But if you notice, a lot of Latin people have 2 last names. That's their mama and daddy's last name. Okay, let's look at my notes. So we see that they have a 24% success rate. Let me go back to my notes. Yeah, that's the one that I didn't, that's the people that was, let me go back. I was like, I'm already cussing. Okay, let's see. So Clay is telling the women, and this was episode 1. Clay was telling the women that he wasn't a good person. Another thing, the women, when you come into the next room and determine that you guys are talking to the same man, y'all need to compare notes. That's another thing. They count on women. See, although they were in community with each other, they were still like, no, bitch, let's sit around this table, because we're going to do this strategically. And we're going to find everybody a partner in some kind of way. We're going to try to find everybody a partner. Y'all, these are the questions we need to be asking these men in the thing, in addition to whatever else you want to talk about. But this would have been me at the damn table. Listen, y'all, everybody pay attention. Unwind your eyes. This is what we about to do. Y'all want to get married? Okay. These are the questions that y'all need to be asking these men, in addition to getting to know them. But these are important questions for setting up a partnership with somebody in the frame of marriage. This is what we going to ask them. Bop, 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 bop. Everybody's asking the same questions, because we going to weed these niggas out. Two of the men, Jeremy and Jimmy, the milkman. He and Jeremy both chose their second choice. I don't understand the psychology behind that. The only thing that I could come up with was that they were looking for someone who liked them more than they liked them. So I'll pick the woman who likes me more, not the woman that I like more, right? Because they both wanted Sarah Ann, and the other one they try to say looked like a Kardashian. Baby, when she told that nigga, you gonna choke when you see me. Bitch, when I tell you, I was in here screaming. I said, come on, bitch, you better let that motherfucker know you're gonna need your EpiPen, honey, because your airways are gonna close up. I said, come on, bitch. She let him have it. Because he thought, because that girl said she looked like Megan Fox, he picked her. He was sure, because he, you know how y'all say men are more visual, even though that's a lie. He visualized her as Megan Fox. So that was already in his head. The other girl didn't describe herself to him. Clay, he was concerned about the physical appearance of the woman. He was concerned with, am I going to want to have sex with you? That's what they're more concerned about. Am I going to want to mattress you? And will you mule and maid for me? That's what they're looking for. While y'all are looking for love, and the men will say anything. They will literally say anything and play a role. Like y'all both playing roles, and you're both playing roles with different objectives. And that's where a lot of conflict comes from in people trying to find partnership, because the men have an objective that is completely different than yours. And that's just it. All right, let's see. These women who have interest in the same man need to share notes. Honestly, they count on y'all not being in community and not sharing notes with each other. That's how men are able to triangulate women, because y'all won't speak to each other, because whatever he's telling you, you've been trained to take his word for it. Instead of saying, you know what, I'd rather talk. And you have an opportunity. Like the women who like Jimmy, y'all should have talked. The women who liked Jeremy, y'all should have talked. I feel like at the end of the night, the women need to get together and be like, this, and this. Y'all trying to keep secrets and do. And girl, that's not your man. When Laura went over to the girl who was trying to get with Jimmy, and she was like, girl, that's not your man. He's already told the other girl he loves her. But then y'all really know, like, do y'all really know? You know, you're aware that you don't love them. You're just saying it, right? Because I've said it a plenty of time to a plenty of nigga and not meant a damn word. I love you. I really don't. I really don't. A lot of people say that and they really don't mean it. I said, I think what the men do is lock themselves into one woman, because they know if one woman is locked onto them, they're not going to give another man a chance while they continue to shop. Once a woman feels like, oh, he's going to choose me, she stays locked on him and she won't give anybody else. Y'all should have been in there dating and making these men fight for you. The way that Clay was feeling about Matthew, I would have played that. I would have kept playing it. I feel like Clay used this show as therapy. And he used that woman as therapy, as a lot of y'all are therapists to these men. And they work out their trauma on you. And you just be there like looking like, girl, AD. I looked at AD and I said, hold on a second. Now, I know Jamie just had a baby. And I know Jamie is in a relationship. How the hell is Jamie, that's me, on Love is Blind, baby? When I tell you that lady looked like Jamie, that's me, I said, girl, she really did. Jamie probably don't think she looked like her, but that lady looked like you, Jamie. She really did. I was like, she really favors, is that Jamie? Like, the first time she popped up on the screen, I did a double take, like, and then when she had the little part down and her hair was waving like this, I said, that can't be Jamie. I know that ain't Jamie. But yeah, she favored Jamie a lot to me. Shout out to Jamie, that's me. She told him people think she looks like Megan Fox. He was stuck. That's why, but she did look like Megan Fox. If you looked at her, she looked like Megan Fox. She just had more face down here than Megan Fox. Like her jaw was like a lower, and her chin, she had a longer face, I should say. So if you had, I was looking at her and I was like, if you had cut like her chin off and her jaw, she would look like Megan Fox. If you dyed her hair a little bit more, her whole face, she looked like Megan Fox. I was like, yeah, she does. I can see why people would say you look like Megan Fox. But Jimmy the Milkman, he had it in his head that that woman looked like Megan Fox, and that's who he was going to choose. And he was disappointed when he saw her because he didn't think, and she was kind of, I don't know, she was probably a size 8, maybe, or a 10, maybe, like an 8, maybe smaller. People look bigger on television. So she might have been a 6, 7. But she looked bigger than the rest of the girls. And she seemed to be taller, too. Anyway, what else? I said, I'm tired of these women apologizing for crying. That's another thing. Y'all calling these men your best friends. And I tell y'all, they haven't even been coupled for 10 days. And y'all calling these people, I'm looking for my best friend. No, you're looking for a partner, not a best friend. You have best friends. Y'all go into relationships and look for the people to be everything to you. And that's impossible for any one human to do. I'm going to be your partner. You got a best friend? Go get you a best friend. I'm not your best friend. I'm not your best friend. Now, if y'all started off as best friends and then became intimate and had a romantic long-term relationship, that's different. Like I married my best friend. That's different. But y'all hop and jump and skip and dive into these relationships with these niggas you barely know, and all of a sudden they're your best friends. You're not in elementary school, sweetheart, where you meet somebody on the first day of school and then you lock arms with them and they're your best friends for the rest of the school year. Girl, no, this is not it. The way that the women were approaching the relationships, I was like, they are not asking the right question. And I think like that girl, I can't remember her name. When I was watching it with my son, he couldn't stand her. That one woman, I couldn't remember her name. She got married and then she got down the aisle and said no to that guy. He looked like a Latin dude. He was like really sensitive. I can't remember her name. Oh, my son, he was so mad at her. He was like, she's leading him on. She's leading him on. And I think a lot of the women just want a fairy tale. They just want, how many times did you hear references to fairy tales and princesses? How many times did you hear that? And I feel like these shows set women up. I really do. The men are not vetted, ready to love. Y'all don't vet those men over there. There's no way those men walk in there with that much animosity towards women and want to partner with women. Where did you find these men? Where did you find these men? I need to see the questionnaire that they use to determine who's going to be on the show. I really do. Because I feel like a lot of women are being set up and they're walking onto these shows. Really, they have an objective and the men have a different objective. They'll tell you that's what they want. Didn't I tell you? You have a goal to be a wife and a partner and a best friend and a lover and a counselor and a mentor and a you want this person to be your everything. They just want a maid, honey. They just want a maid. They just want a maid. Kenneth, he said he was a 25-year-old school principal. I was like, damn, he's 25. He's so clear. The way he was communicating, I felt like he was very clear, but there was no attraction there with him and that woman at all. Even though I guess she has dated black men in the past, but he was a black guy. I mean, y'all saw it. And he picked the white girl, and there was just no chemistry there. I don't know if he's queer, if he's questioning. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Shout out to Invincible Summer. She injected that he probably didn't like women. So I was like, what? And then it was just his mannerisms. And it literally was no spark. He didn't even want to hold her hand. Like he was holding her hand. It was weird. And he was like, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. And I feel like there's a pressure to choose someone. That's part of like them, like making it a 10-day thing. I feel like you're pressured to choose someone, and then when you finally see them, there's no spark there. Now, if there's no spark, to me, I don't know if you could waste time trying to develop trying to get it to spark up. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Matthew was like, I'm not here to make friends with you men. He wasn't talking to nobody. Amber, when Amber found out, so AD and Amber found out that Matthew was saying the same exact things to them. Again. This is why women need to be more trusting in other women to figure out, like, what is he saying to you? What is he saying to me? They should not have been surprised that he was saying the same thing to each of them. That, like I said, at the end of the dates, at the end of the night, these are the conversations that we had, ladies. Let's talk about what we had with the guys. We talked about our parents. We talked about this. He said this to me. Oh my God, girl, he said the same shit to me. Okay, get his ass out of here. Period. Get his ass out of here. Nobody asked him for any dates anymore. That's it. Because he's saying the same thing to everybody. Get his ass out of here. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the women aren't tactical enough. And I just like, y'all just be like skipping and hopping and jumping and diving into these relationships. And then 2 weeks later, the nigga is your best friend. And then 4 weeks later, he's out at 4 a.m. with the other girl that liked him. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all not. And as soon as he's interested in both of us, what is he saying to you? What is he saying to you? How can we determine who he's right for? Right? Who is he right for? What do you need out of a man? What do I need out of a man? Let's talk, girl. He might be better suited for you, because it was, something he said to me. I like him, but he probably is better suited for him. So you continue to go on dates with him. I'll find another man. But y'all compete. Y'all are competing instead of collaborating. And that is where these men, they can get in there and fuck the whole shit up. Because y'all letting them in without, like, really, truly, like, that would be sitting around a table. That's vetting. That's vetting. Sitting in a round table and comparing notes and determining who we not asking for dates. Who are we ostracizing, ladies? Who Matthew is saying the same thing to Amber that he is to AD. Get his ass out of here. Jimmy is saying the same thing to whoever he was with, and I can't remember neither one of them women's names. And he was Jimmy and I forget. I don't know. Get his ass out of here. Or he's nice. He's saying the same things to us. What do you think? How do you feel about him saying the same things to us? Oh, well, I feel like, whatever. Okay, well, I don't like it. So you can continue to date him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like the women are tactical enough. I just don't. I feel like it's just like a mushed brain approach, a malleable brain, a pretzel brain, a damn mice running in a wheel approach. Like, you're not, I don't know. I was just like, this is sad. I just kept saying, this is so dumb. And my son was like, you don't have to watch. I kept saying, because I had my earphones on while I was listening to it doing stuff. And I just kept saying, this is so dumb. This is dumb as hell. Y'all dumb as hell. These women have interest in the same man, need to share notes. I think when the men do is lie. Okay. I said, oh God, he's your best friend already. I feel like they're not having the right conversations. When at the end of this, they're going to possibly create a partnership through marriage. I just don't feel like they're asking the right questions. Everybody's in love. I said, you're not in love, sweetheart. This is so dumb. I don't feel like they're asking the right questions. I've only heard one couple ask what their political affiliations were and like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? And that's what I say. Y'all will have a higher success rate if you did all that thing. They go put on the wedding dresses. The girls in the wedding dresses come out. Everybody's like, oh my God, you look like a princess. You look like a princess. The princess is about to marry a fucking frog. The nigga hasn't turned into a prince yet. Hello? Y'all be traipsing down the aisle to frogs in hopes that when the man says, now you may kiss your bride, he turns into a prince. And he doesn't. I did not understand the psychology of those two men who picked their second choice instead of their first choice. And then they ended up kind of lusting after their first choice. And then, like Jeremy, he spent time with his first choice. He went out with her. And then they're like, well, girl, you was out till 5 o'clock in the morning. Laura was like, I want out. I'm not doing this. Y'all didn't like Laura. I liked Laura. I like Laura. I like Laura. Chica went over there and told that girl, that is not your man, girl. He told the other one, I love you. That's the kind of girl I want on my side. Like, girl, I'm gonna tell you what the nigga is telling the other girl. He's telling her he loves her. That's not your man. And it's not your man. That's not your man. And there should have been no reason why those two women did not know that that man was telling them the same thing. Y'all keep like being separate when y'all need to come. Women need to come together. That's the problem. They count on y'all looking at men as the prize, and we're competing to the prize. None of these women position themselves as the prize. None of them. None of them. When that girl with the child with Jimmy told him, I commit to being feminine, vulnerable, and some other shit she said, I said, girl, what the fuck are you doing? No, that's not how we do this at all. You're not committing to nothing. You don't even know this person. Why are you making a commitment to somebody you haven't seen? Why are you making a commitment to somebody you have no idea what their feelings are about religion, race, gender, abortion, children's rights, women's rights? None. What's your relationship with your mother? What's your relationship with your father? What kind of household did you grow up in? Clay used this show for therapy. He did. He really did. And then she had the nerve to tell him, well, you know, if we get together, this is the little bootleg Kardashian. If we get together, you can't lust after other women. That is the most stupid thing to ask of another human being, to tell them you need to repress your feelings for another, your sexual feelings for another person. No, I don't. You need to tell me I don't want you acting on these feelings, but you're allowed to think other women are attractive. You're allowed to want to have sex with other people, because I can look at somebody and be like, oh, I want to have sex with that person too. This idea when you agree to monogamy that the person can't look at or like pictures of other, that's a level of insecurity that you should heal before you even try to be in a relationship. Because what you're doing is placing controls on someone to make yourself feel comfortable. And that's not right. Accept the person as they are. If you're getting into a relationship and you're asking the person to change in order to be in relationship with you, no, you take people as they are. And if they are not the person that you want them to be, move on. If they can't show up the way that you need them to show up, let that person doesn't need to change for you. Let that person be who they are. Go find somebody who will fit your needs. But y'all get trapped into that too, because a man, when a man asks you, what do you need in a man? You tell him. And then what does he do? He becomes that for you. And when he becomes that, that is letting you know he's not approaching this with transparency and with authenticity. It's fake. He has on a mask so that he can hook you in. And now you're like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then another thing, y'all share 1 or 2 trauma stories, and then now you're in love. Trauma bonding. I was like, what? Trauma bonding, not in the sense where you're bonding with the person who is harming you, but trauma bonding as you both like we are bonding over our traumas that we've gone through. Not a good foundation. AD, the over sexualizing her body. Hey, yes, body. You saw when she walked down the aisle, he was like, yes, body. He wants to fuck her. That's it. That's it. When he saw her, he was like, yes, I want to fuck. I don't plan on getting married to this girl, but I definitely want to have sex with her. And then at the end, when he didn't choose her, he still wants to date her because he still wants access to her body. He wants the milk for free. Now, I wouldn't, after he did what he did, I would not see him. The guy with the mullet seems cool. I thought he was a cool guy. I thought she should have chose him. I think they probably would have still been together. I said, this girl just told up this man, I fully commit to giving you the soft, feminine, vulnerable version of myself. What kind of shit is that, girl? What kind of fucking dumbass shit is that, bitch? You're committing to being soft, feminine, and vulnerable. Then he dumped her. Then he dumped her, girl. You committed to this, to do this for this man. And he's like, that's great. But yeah, I'm going to say I love you to another woman. I don't, whatever. She told him, you're going to choke when you see me, bitch. Let's see. Yes, Chelsea would have said yes to whomever asked her. I said, Jimmy's milkman looking ass has a whole lot of nerve wanting somebody to look like Megan Fox. I said, I like Laura. A lot of people didn't like Laura. They said she was giving sorority vibes. Even Kingery said she was giving sorority vibes. I didn't get that from her. I got that she was like, no nonsense. And I got that she was like, I'm going to let this girl know that that's not your man. He went and told somebody else that he loved them. Girl, that's not your man. You should leave. That's not your man. She told her, you should leave. That's not your man. She should have left. This is somebody giving you a warning, but no, you think she's a hater. So I need to actually go meet with him and just to make sure. So go meet with him and he's going to tell you he don't love you and he dumped you. You wrote him this letter committing yourself to him and he's like, yeah, that's great. But yeah. Coming home at 5 a.m. divorce. AD's mother gave Clay good advice about holding on to your parents' divorce and letting it sabotage your relationship goals. Yeah, he kept like bringing up his father taking him to see other women, cheating on his mom. His father had him like you want the fathers in the home, but then you got your son sitting in the passenger seat while you're cheating on your wife. And so he learned these behaviors. And after 25 years, his mother was tired of his father's shit and divorced him. So he's like, divorce affects a family. And yes, it does. But your mother was sick and tired of his shit. And I'm glad at the end, she got his ass together. And I agree with her. You shouldn't do nothing that you don't want to do. Nothing that you're not fully, present to do, that you're not fully prepared to do. Don't do it. Don't send somebody else through that. You understand what I'm saying? I thought it was messed up what Clay did to AD. And I think everybody is mad at Clay because, like I said, Black women, they have a very, 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 very deep-seated conditioning where they crave to be in relationship in the form of marriage to these men. Yeah. Then he says again, I'm not confident that I can be your husband. I'm not a good person, which he showed us at the end when she should have heeded the warning on the first episode, bitch. The first episode, that nigga told you he wasn't a good person. Later on, he says, I'm not confident that I can be your husband. This is when they were in DR. I'm not confident I can be a good husband or your husband or something like that. And she was like, why would you say that? Because he's telling you who he is and you're choosing to ignore it. He's like literally telling you, I'm not a good person and I'm not confident that I could be your husband. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go try on my wedding dress. I said, I remember having a critique of the timeline on the show and them needing a therapist or a counselor on the show. I think Jimmy made the right decision with Chelsea. Chelsea, because I kept saying like what Chelsea was very, very insecure. One, when they all got to meet in Punta Cana and AD came out and she had on a nice outfit. She looked nice. Her body is nice. I think she's a professional dancer or cheerleader or something like that. And her body is together. She said she works hard on her body. Jesus in the gym. I think that's what she said. Jimmy was like, damn, her body is crazy. Like, damn, right? And it was. I was looking at her like, damn, girl. Damn. Jimmy said her body, she was stacked like a motherfucking bookshelf. I said, oh, come on, bitch. And then he kept talking to her too. So Jimmy was attracted to AD. He was attracted to her. And Chelsea is insecure. And Chelsea should not be in a relationship. She's an insecure person, and you're insecure. You have all these insecurities going into a marriage. No. Would you start a business with somebody and you had insecurities about the situation? No, you wouldn't. So why would you do it here? Like, I feel like when you approach it with romance and love and the false promise of monogamy, that's where y'all fuck up every single time. And these men are willing to get you in that situation because now you want to play the role as a wife. You see how they were doing that in the house where he was like, even Kenneth, you 25 years old, shut up. Tell him about you want somebody to cook for you. You cook. Did you see his house? Nothing. Jeremy's house was nice. I was like, come on, you better keep your house clean and tidy. But he was a weirdo too. Like, the men are weird. I don't know, girl. And was Johnny's dad half black? I was looking at his father like, that looks like a black man. He's biracial. Was his father biracial? I was trying to see if it was at his biological father, but it didn't say stepfather. It said Johnny's parents. So I was like, oh, that man looked like a black man. Okay. I liked AD's mom. Did you see when she saw Clay? She was like, girl. Clay is very handsome. He was a handsome dude, nice haircut, tall. But through the whole thing, you could see, like, the way that he was expressing himself, that this was therapy for him. It really was. And he used his show as therapy. And instead of, I think he wanted to see, can I get married? And he decided he couldn't. I don't know. He didn't do that right. I felt bad for her. And then I wouldn't have let him hug me. He was like, can I hug you? She was like, sure. Girl, no. You got up in front of everybody, was shocked. She looked beautiful. Her dress was banging, bitch. I said, come on, you better jut that leg out of that dress like that. Her dress was beautiful. She's walking down the aisle. His mother was like, you're just going to start crying. He was not crying. He was not crying. She walked down the aisle. When she got close enough, he was like, okay, body. She was like, you see the material? You see the material? He just wants your body, girl. He wants to use your body to masturbate. And you let him. And then what really made it really fucked up is when Clay and what's her name was doing the vows and he was telling her he didn't want to get married. She was like, what the fuck? Like, she was like, they're like together, like talking. She was like, what the fuck, Clay? You know how embarrassing public humiliation. You know how humiliating that is to be left at an altar? But the red flags were there the entire time. He said it from the beginning. I am not a good person. That's all you need to tell me. Somebody tells you they're not a good person, there's no reason why you should want to be in a relationship, let alone a relationship called marriage with them. They're not a good person. He told you. Like they say, and it's like, y'all become interpreters and translators, and I don't know what happens after that. I have no idea what happens after that. I gotta go. I just thought it was, I don't know. I just thought it was sad. Let me see if I have any other notes. Hold on. I just thought it was sad. I think the way the women approach relationships, and the way that the men are here, like I said, there's two different objectives that are happening. And that's like not on this show, but that's in real life. These men have one objective and you have another. And if you're not talking and flushing out, like literally approaching it as if you were going to start a business with somebody, because that's what you're going to do, then it needs to be a more tactical approach. But romance and love have y'all abandoning your logic, abandoning your senses to fulfill some shit that you envisioned when you were 8 years old, wearing your little plastic clink clank shoes around the house and your Little Mermaid or your motherfucking Ariel outfit on. That's the same bitch, right? Ariel and Little Mermaid, same girl. You got your little Ariel outfit on, you got your little red wig on, your little crown on. Everything you envisioned when you were 8 years old, you want to mimic this with a male human being. Instead of walking down the aisle to yourself, you get a success rate if you walk down the aisle to yourself than walking down the aisle to some weirdo who just wants to use your body to masturbate. use you as a maid to clean up his goddamn house, and use you as an emotional support animal like a mule, and lay all his shit on your back and you carry it. Then you tell the world that he's your leader. He's my leader. I need a leader. I need someone. He's protecting and he's providing. Is he? Did he protect you in that moment? Because I would have, because if he would have, if he was trying to protect her, he would have told her before she walked down the aisle. He would not have allowed her to be humiliated like that if he really cared about her. It feels like I'm rejecting you. You did reject her. And then when she said, I'm never good enough. When you seek external validation from men, you will never be good enough. Never. And I'm here to tell you, I'm here to unwind your eyes. You'll never be good enough. You'll never. If you are seeking validation from a man, you will never be good enough. Y'all need to choose yourselves and walk down the aisles to yourselves. And if you want to form a partnership with someone, you really need to approach it as a business. I remember on Facebook one time I said that marriage is a business. No, because the men need you to be in love. They need you to abandon your senses. They don't need a logical approach to marriage, because they know if we put this shit on paper for real, she's not going to want to marry you. She's not. You need her to remain delusional in the fantasy. I need you to want to fulfill the fantasy that you've had since you were 8 years old, before you even understood the pathology of a man, before you even understood who a man was. Y'all envisioned your wedding. You did. I know you did. It's by design. Picked out children's name, even though you don't want kids. You got children's name picked out. You got your wedding colors picked out, even though you don't want to get married. It's by design. And these shows bank on women coming into these shows with dizzy eyes, stiff shoulders. Girl, I want to shake your shoulders and unwind your eyes. And a lot of these shows, women watch these shows because they want to witness a woman fulfilling her childhood fantasy. And it got y'all looking crazy out here. The girls are all over TikTok. Trad wives all over TikTok. Telling you, girl, this ain't it. Don't come in here. This is not where you want to be. So the reunion comes on this weekend. We'll talk about the reunion on another video. All right, take care of each other. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's get down on comments. Peace. Don't forget to like the video.